Studios presents Common Censored.
Top of the day, TikTok. Yeah, a lot of things floating around on the news and so forth. You know, those reporters reporting that bull crap of what's going to happen, what they perceive to happen. They want to call us garbage. You want to call us garbage? Was the ones that protected your ass when shit was rough? You know, while you was home sucking on mommy's tit. Yeah, we the real deal. Gonna fuck around and find out who we really are, because we don't play that. We don't play that at all. You might have some plans. They might have some plans, but we got plans of our own. We got plans of our own. Not that you got to hear about them. You know, the funny thing is we don't even have to talk to each other. We already know. We already know. So when that time comes and you turn that switch on, we're going to give you everything that you ever asked for, and then some.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Common Censored. I'm Lord Sterling, and this is episode 272. All kinds of crazy stuff going on, as usual. Republicans dominating in the early voting in Nevada and Arizona. Lawsuits launched to combat Democrat corruption in various states. Federal Reserve coming out with statistics and data saying Americans are down approximately 1.4 million jobs, while illegals are up 1.4 million. Thanks for that, Kamala and Joe, you scumbags. We also have massive backlash after Mark Cuban's misogynist comments about how no strong, independent women are around Donald J. Trump. Sorry, I had to update the tag, the banner down there. Make sure to join us Monday through Friday, 6:45-ish p.m. Eastern Time, as we cover all the crazy clown world clusterfuck chaos. Sorry for the delay today. Had some stuff to handle. Make sure to use hashtag CommonCensored and hashtag infantry when you share the broadcast. You can find us on X at _Sterling_. Thanks to our new followers over on Rumble. Appreciate you guys. We got Riding with Biden 69, Kimberly 8707, Greg Boyce 1, Coffee Girl 920, and Freedom Fight USA. Thanks for joining us. Links to all of the stories we cover today, all the articles, videos, etc. will be posted down in the video description on Rumble immediately following the broadcast. So if you're watching this later and need to maximize the efficiency of your time and attention, click on down in the video description, find the topics that interest you, and Mama Mac will be adding timestamps throughout the broadcast, so you'll be able to jump right to the point in the episode where we cover the things that are interesting to you. Make sure to hit up alplama.com and throw Mama Mac some love. Alp Llama, your new herbal health guru. And if you want to support the show directly, head on over to our link tree at Common Censored. Disclaimer: views expressed on Common Censored are only opinions. Assume everything we say is false and research for yourself. We're not giving medical, legal, or financial advice. The only advice we are giving: think for yourself. Question authority. Think for yourself. Question authority. Boom! All right, let's jump into the news, everybody. Thanks for being here. First, let's start off with a little bit of a Halloween-related video. Sean at Anderson Inc. sent this one to me. Thanks, Sean. In honor of Halloween, we'll play some Batman and Joker doing some pretty impressive skateboarding over here. Check it out, and then we'll get into the real hardcore stuff.
I'm going so fast.
Nasty. Joker. Oof. Dude is awesome. Sean, you gotta get back on that board, brother.
Even though UFO
Bam. So good. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Sean.
was were seen
Joker and
everywhere,
Batman
over the
kicking
desert, over
ass.
the ocean.
Whoa, I'm getting crazy stuff in my ear. Okay. Trigger warning for this next story. I don't think a news story has ever made me so enraged, infuriated, disgustipated. Words can't even describe the pure, white-hot, glowing anger that this causes in me. So I'm going to try not to scream. I'm going to try not to cry because it makes me want to do both. But let's jump over to Ian Miles Chong here. This is disgusting. Mark Longo has just revealed that the New York Department of Environmental Conservation euthanized his cherished pet squirrel, Peanut. This innocent creature was taken from him, where he had lovingly raised it since it was a baby after its mother got hit by a car. Mark had used the squirrel's viral popularity to raise funds for animal sanctuaries. Imagine, without any legal basis, like a search warrant, the government barged into his home, stole Peanut, and in just 48 hours ended the life of this harmless, beloved pet. You fuckers are going down. And they fucking killed it. They came in, they stole Peanut, and they killed it. Him or her, not sure of the gender. But they'll let illegals roam the streets of New York, raping, harassing, stealing, and beating citizens. Oh, and then give them a place to stay, food, and spending money. Unreal. Oh, man, that makes me so mad. Yeah, getting McGroin and disgustipated. That was a Tool reference. It's a song by the band Tool, in case you're curious about that. Spikes after due process. These people, exactly, Ed. War. This is the final straw. We're fighting this civil war, this second American Revolution for Peanut. This is fucking crazy. I can't believe this even happened. War. War. This is war. But it's not all bad news. Holy shit. Margery Taylor Greene press release parody account on X posting this. This is a paid event with people paying to get there, to go there, with tens of thousands of patriots for Trump and Tucker last night. Fox made a huge mistake letting Tucker Carlson go. Kamala Harris is losing Arizona. This crowd is massive on Halloween. Take a look at this enormous crowd at this stadium last night. Everywhere Trump goes, massive amounts of people show up. They'll even pay to get there, as opposed to the Kamala rallies, where they gotta basically pay people to show up by paying musicians to show up and bussing people in, drawing fake crowds. That's right, Mama. Those agents need to be put on trial and then on spikes. And then on spikes. Oh, man. Makes me so mad. Uh-oh. Arm the battlements. Man the parapets. We're being raided. K-Talks Radio 1013 is raiding the stream. Launch the cows, guys. Oh, man. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Nope. Hold off on the hot oil. Hold off on the hot oil. They're friendlies. No need to fire. But, oh, man. Yeah, my Max says, screw it. Forget the trial. Whoever that took that squirrel needs to be euthanized themselves. Agreed, 100%. Like I said, I don't think I've ever been as enraged by a story as that. You came in and took this innocent little squirrel that's helped raise money for these causes, and just killed it. These people are the scum of the world. C-Dubs in the house. What's up, C-Dubs? World Rockumentary Channel. Make sure to follow them on Rumble. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining us today. Happy Friday. Happy November. 4 days, guys. 4 days until the most important election in known world history. The fate of freedom itself lying in the balance. Things are looking good for us, but we also have some disturbing things going on as well, like behind closed doors, Obama smirking with confidence. The fix is in. Something's going to happen, but it's going to be difficult for them to steal it. Look at this. Seth Keschel over here posting, Arizona has been a state since 1912. The Times Nevada has voted red for president with Arizona blue 0. Reposting Michael Prusser, who says, our last Nevada update for October is in. 930,296 votes have been recorded, which represents 68% of the expected electorate, and Trump voters are dominating. Republicans up in the early voting with 361,638 votes total. Demon Rats trailing behind with 314,343, and others with 254,315. I got a sneaking suspicion that a vast majority of those votes are going Republican. Republicans found a way to go for 13 for 13 in early voting, netting 2,887 votes today over Democrats. I think this was yesterday. With one final day of early person remaining, this is where we stand. 47,295 raw vote lead for Republicans, 5.1% current electorate lead. Clark and Washou's morning mail and frequency scores will be updated tomorrow, maybe today. So this is really good news. If we look over here at the chart, I'll zoom in over here on this other page. We have this being chronicled, the different counties, vote by mail. Republicans, when you add up the totals over on the middle chart over here, Republicans dominating 361,638 votes. So this is really good news. Really, really good news. Hopefully we can maintain this and make it too big to rig. Everything depends on this election. And if they steal it, all bets are off. Shit's going crazy. We're going to war for peanut. And we need to win this, guys. So don't get complacent now. Mama Mac voted today near the Revolutionary War Office in Connecticut, and the people doing the polls were good. One lady checked your ID, crossed you off the name on a list. Second person checked your ID to verify, did some computer stuff to cross you off digitally. That's right, Mama Mac. To war for peanut. Peanut is the final straw. That's the final straw. I was aware of this squirrel already, and I can't even describe the absolute abject anger that I'm feeling that this is causing me. Oh my God, I just found that story like a minute before going online, and it's enraging. Eric Doherty posting over here, the GOP has expanded their early voting lead in Arizona as well to nearly 155,000 voter lead. Holy schlit. He says, Philip Anderson responding, get out the vote for Donald Trump in the swing states like your lives depend on it. They do. In Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Nevada, take your family, friends, coworkers, and church members to the polls to vote for Donald Trump. Agreed 1,000%. Tyler Bowyer replying, we're not messing around. Bad Kitty Unleashed. Now, what if all the Democrats show up on election day like we used to do? I kind of doubt that's going to happen. They're like pre-programmed to vote early, so I think we're in a pretty good position. But anything can happen. Moving on to our next topic from Gateway Pundit. Must see. Washington Post propaganda show implodes when conservative radio host walks off set after slamming hacks for their lies about Donald Trump and the election. Cullen Linebarger wrote this one. Let's skip down to the video and take a look. We'll hop over to X, to Steve Guest's post at Steve Guest on X. Epic after the Washington Post's Jonathan Capehart and Ruth Marcus spew lies about Donald Trump. Hugh Hewitt brings the facts about the RNC's PA election lawsuit, then rips off his headset and leaves the post-live show. Hugh, I'm done. We're all done. Finito. Finito. I did not break the news yet. Outlaw Dogs, thanks for reminding me. It should be the headline story, but I'd already completed the thumbnail and the title. We have major news. We'll get into this video in a second, but first there is indeed major news. Thank you to the Outlaw Dogs on Rumble. Follow the channel, and Gator as well. Bayou Gator 70 on Rumble. Find him on X. Wearing trash bags to vote. Major breaking news. Ron Paul will be joining Doge, Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency. This is absolutely massive news. Elon Musk posted saying he wants him to join. We'll get into that in a little bit because it's probably the best news all week. So congratulations to everybody on that. That's what we need. Now we just need to make sure we win this election. All right, let's jump into this video. We'll get into that in a little bit, but that should have been the headline for today for sure. Outlaw Dogs and Gator, thanks for sharing that.
Is it me, or does it seem like this week Donald Trump is laying the groundwork for contesting the election by complaining that cheating was taking place in Pennsylvania by suing Bucks County for alleged irregularities? And this is on top of his continual assertion that if he loses, it's because of cheating.
Yeah. That's what he's been laying the groundwork for this, just not in the last week, but in the last umpty-ump months. No election can be fair unless in Donald Trump's mind, unless Donald Trump wins it. Oh,
really? No, we just have brains that work by processing information and recognizing patterns. And the patterns say that you are a bunch of shitbag election thieves. So, and when you look at the crowd sizes between the candidates, when you look at the voting, when you look at the support everywhere by every metric, Trump is dominating. So if you guys win, it's obviously a steal. It doesn't take rocket appliances to figure this out, Ruth Marcus.
I think we are going to see him both rev up his supporters to contest elections outside of courtrooms and go to every courtroom he can in America where it's relevant to make whatever arguments he can, no matter how far-fetched. We saw
Jonathan, I've got
out last time, but it didn't work out this time.
Hugh.
It may not work. That may not happen this time. And now I'll let you go, Hugh.
Well, I've just got to say, we're news people, even though we're at the opinion section. It's got to be reported. Bucks County was reversed by the court and instructed to open up extra days because they violated the law and told people to go home.
Yeah, the Democrats are rigging it in our faces. Ooh, Outlaw Dogs, happy 249th birthday to the United States Marine Corps. Hoorah! Yeah, that's good to hear. Thanks for that, Outlaw Dogs. And we started off the show with that Marine at the beginning saying, we don't even need to talk with each other. We have a plan. If you guys steal it, you're going to be in trouble.
So that lawsuit was brought by the Republican National Committee, and it was successful. The Supreme Court ruled that Glenn Youngkin was successful. We are news people, even though we have opinions, and we have to report the whole story if we bring up part of the story. So yes, he's upset about Bucks County, but he was right, and he won in court. That's the story.
I'll let you keep going, Jonathan.
No, I don't appreciate being lectured about reporting when many times you come here.
All you do is lecture us, scumbag.
I won't come back, Jonathan. I'm done. I'm done. This is the most unfair election ad I have ever been a part of. You guys are working. That's fine. I'm done.
You're working for the Democrats, you fucking scumbags.
So, Ruth, you wrote a column this week ending.
So, Ruth, we don't give a fuck about anything after this point. Fuck you. Oh, man, you propagandists perpetrating fraud on the American population, you better be ready to look at that nice view from the prison cell after we win. You are going down. Fake news media, prep the cells. Prep the cells, prep the due process, get the military tribunals ready. We're done. We're done. It's over. Your reign of fear propaganda is over. This is the last cycle where this will be tolerated. We're coming for you legally, lawfully, in the judicial system. You know, you're done. You're done. Let's jump over to our next one. Red Trumper at Redhead 4645 posting this one on X. This is so true by Tom Basile. Kamala's campaign is not about what she'll do for the country. She only uses the fear factor against Trump. That's all it is fear propaganda. Listen to how she continued to lie yesterday about President Trump. She has no message, meaning she will continue with radical policies.
Well, look, I think that this is part of a larger problem that the Harris campaign has had all along, and that is that they really don't have much of a message other than trying to scare people into believing that Donald Trump is going to be a dictator or this or that. I mean, we heard Kamala Harris yesterday again, accuse Trump of fomenting toxic masculinity. She lied again yesterday about his position on abortion. She lied about his position on Social Security and Medicaid. But this is a campaign. The Harris campaign is kind of a
lies
campaign about nothing that has to do with her. It's all about Donald Trump. They must be seeing some internal numbers that are increasingly concerning to them. And they know that they still have about 3% of the population that's out there that is going to make a gut decision on Tuesday when they head into that voting booth. And they believe that the fear factor, that Trump fear factor, or his personality is
that's right, Generation Mars.
That they can try to sway people with that, rather than anything that Harris is really going to propose or going to do to try to turn this country around.
It's all about Orange Man bad. Orange Man bad. Yeah, that's right. The visual resemblance and mannerisms is much closer between Kamala and Adolf than it is with Trump. That's for sure. And yeah, good job. Jet lag threatening the state of California with a lawsuit unless they get you your fucking ballot back. God damn, dude. So corrupt. So ridiculous. Thanks for being here, guys. Make sure to smash that like button. Next, let's jump over to Elon Musk posting, wow, reposting Michael Schellenberger saying, Biden didn't call Trump supporters garbage, the media said, but he did. And now 2 officials and an internal email reveal that the White House press office altered the transcript after it, quote, conferred with the president in direct violation of the Presidential Records Act. So this is kind of big. It could mean trouble for these people. AP sources, White House altered record of Biden's garbage remarks despite stenographer concerns. The stenographer was like, this doesn't make any sense, guys. They took, the only garbage I see is Trump's supporters, and then he paused, and their evil rhetoric or whatever. They took the word supporters and added a comma to turn it in from a plural supporters into a possessive supporters, comma, with a possessive to change the entire meaning of the sentence. Blatant violation of the Presidential Records Act. There's an article over on Gateway Pundit about it as well. Link will be in the description if you want to read more details about that. But let's hop over next to Patrick Byrne at Patrick Byrne. Bad news, guys. Bad news. Harris. Apparently, Obama has been privately smirking, 100% confident in victory. Don't believe the polls or what you read. Election is already in the bag, quote unquote. Harris transition team, 100% staffed with Obama staff. The Republic is being overthrown, says Patrick Byrne. Our one chance is to overwhelm the rigged machines. Retweet. Let's listen to what Patrick Byrne is saying over here. This dude's been on point.
Folks, I've got some bad news for you, and I'm going to give it to you straight. I have sources inside the Kamala Harris operation, and I can tell you this. As of this morning, Kamala Harris and her people are 100% confident. They're not in the least bit worried. They are 100% confident, and they're saying, do not worry about it. Don't worry about the polls. Don't listen to the polls. We have this in the bag. And the Kamala Harris transition team has already been staffed, and it's all Barack Obama's staff. It's Barack Obama. It's his entire staff. The entire transition team is Barack Obama people.
Well, imagine my shock.
They are not in the least bit worried. They're 100% confident. And that's the word that's reached me from somebody extremely well placed that they know and trust.
It's pure evil!
And I've been told it's actually shocking how confident they are. It's almost with a little smirk that they're saying, do not believe anything you're hearing. We got no problem at all. Wait till you see what happens. And it's because they are 100% confident in the ability of the machines they can make these machines stand up and whistle Dixie, as I've told you before. The only way to defeat this is with a massive turnout. I swear to God, I'm not doing this to manipulate you or get you worried unnecessarily. I'm telling you, they are not in the least bit concerned. They're cool as cucumbers, and they believe they have this in the bag and do not believe and there's no worries at all about what the polls say, what this say, this election is done in their minds. They're picking out drapes for the White House. They're not in the least bit concerned. You know what to do. Share this video and get out there. The lives. Look, I've lived in communist countries. You guys have no idea what's coming for you. You are going to regret to your dying day, which may be sooner than you think, if you do not get out now and give this not just the old college try. It's time to go teeth, toes, and fingernails. They are 100%, Kamala Harris's team is not in the least bit worried. They are 100% confident that they're winning this. And the transition team is all Barack Obama.
Super messed up. If we're taken over by communists, guys, it's the gulag for us. Something like 30,000 Soviet alone gulags scattered throughout Russia throughout the 20th century, murdering, who knows, untold tens of millions of people, brutally forcing them into work camps and starving them to death. That's the future we face if we don't win this. They hate us. They're trying to replace us. They don't believe in what this country is for. They want to destroy us and eliminate us one way or another. If it's not via the poison and all the chemicals we're being bombarded with, ruining us, giving us chronic illnesses, causing our life expectancy to rapidly decline, then it'll be in the gulags. Mark my words. This is what communists do. It's the modus operandi. Yeah, that's right, Ed. Demons, we'll drag the demons down. Man, this is completely crazy. So they're doing something behind the scenes, according to Patrick Byrne. Next, let's check in with MAGA Marine. Mama Mac, sorry about the brand tag logo up in the top right. I always try to hover over the account for a couple seconds to highlight who it is, because I know that blocks the account up at the top. But this is MAGA Marine at Nick Hole 0550 7742. Pistol packing gym rat. This is exactly what transpired over the past few days, they say, and this is exactly what we have seen indeed. The Democrats jumping off the cliff to try to attack Trump, with Biden calling us garbage, with Mark Cuban talking shit about women in general. A person can become so determined to destroy another person that they become blind and end up destroying themselves. That's exactly what we're seeing right now. In other news from Gateway Pundit, we have the backlash from Mark Cuban from Women for Trump after he says female Trump supporters are weak and dumb, and Trump's response is legendary. That's right, vintage Trump activated. We'll get to that in a second. Fuck you, Mark Cuban. Kamala Harris's top surrogate, Mark Cuban, faced intense backlash after he insulted millions of women on Monday. Let's check out some of the clips. You already saw Mark Cuban with the bullshit yesterday, so let's hop into the reactions. We got Alina Habba, a.k.a. Alina Habba over here on X. Let's jump over to her account and check out the video she released. Yeah, no strong, powerful women with Donald Trump. Have you ever seen his lawyers? It's like a stable of glorious women.
I just got off a plane, so pardon my delay in responding to Mark Cuban's disgusting misogynistic remarks. Some reservos. Michael Cohen on 3 levels. Just confirmed and denied by the Supreme Court of the United States. I'm licensed in 4 states. I graduated college in 3 years. Savage v. Trump. By the way, I could keep going, but those are the cases I win. And your left-wing media and your rhetoric and you're putting women down. See, President Trump doesn't do that. He surrounds himself with strong women like me. So Mark Cuban, you can go to hell. I'm voting for Trump because I want my daughter to never, ever be around people that speak like you do.
Bam. Mark Cuban, go straight to hell. Peanut, go straight to heaven. Cross the Rainbow Bridge. We also have next a gunnery sergeant over here from the Marine Corps. Gunnery Sergeant Jessie Jane Duff at Jessie Jane Duff on X, posting this one. So, Mark Cuban doesn't think I'm strong or intelligent? Let me introduce myself. I'm a retired Marine Corps gunnery sergeant and served 20 years on active duty. I was selected by President Trump to be his executive director for Veterans for Trump. Hashtag women for Trump are strong and intelligent and beautiful as well. Don't forget that. Let's check out her video.
Hey, Mark, are you saying that I am not strong or intelligent? I was selected by President Trump to be the executive director of Veterans for Trump, the largest coalition in the 2024 campaign. I served 20 years in the United States Marine Corps on active duty and retired the rank of gunnery sergeant. Are you saying I'm not strong or intelligent? You don't have to look much further. Go back to 1980 to see the record the president has with selecting strong and intelligent women. He selected a 31-year-old woman to lead the largest construction site in New York City at that time, the first woman, I should say, to lead. And it was Barbara Rez, and it became the Trump Tower. She went on to work for President Trump for 18 years. And what about the 2016 campaign that was led by a strong and intelligent woman? He went on to win the White House. It was the first time a presidential campaign had been won by a woman that won the White House. So you don't even know what you're talking about. You should be looking at the record of Kamala Harris. Her own staff has had a 91% turnover rate. They quit working for her. So anybody who was a strong or intelligent woman couldn't even work with her. What does it say about all of the women that have been raped, assaulted, even murdered by the criminal illegals that have come over our border because she has failed to protect women and children? And what about the over 300,000 children that they have lost track of, that we don't even know if they're with their mothers or if they're being human trafficked or worse, maybe even dead? So maybe you're not strong or intelligent because you failed to look at the record of Kamala Harris. And yet President Trump has been surrounding himself with strong, smart, intelligent women
all
for
along.
Decades. His businesses, the White House, and many of his appointees. Women like myself are standing behind President Trump because we are strong and intelligent. Maybe you should ask yourself if you are strong or intelligent.
Boom! Nailed it. Man, I keep thinking about Peanut, the squirrel. Oh, man, the innocent squirrel. If you came and took Loki from me and euthanized my bird, it would be rampage. Just saying. War for Peanut. Marjorie Taylor Greene also chimed in over here at MT Green E. Mark Cuban says women who support Trump are weak and unintelligent. I think Rachel Maddow's doppelganger needs some hormone therapy and to hit the gym, because the studies show when you start pumping the iron, you automatically begin transitioning into more of a conservative / libertarian individual. Let's check out Marjorie Taylor Greene's response over here.
Okay, guys, check this out. First, we have Joe Biden calling all of us garbage. Now Mark Cuban has come out and said that there's no strong, intelligent women supporting Trump. Wait, hang on. I got to fit in this set.
Love MTG. That's right, Wendy.
Here's the problem with Mark Cuban. He suffers from low testosterone. The guy looks just like Rachel Maddow. And here's his issue. He's actually intimidated by strong, intelligent women like me. Graduated from UGA with a business degree. I run a very successful construction company in Georgia, and now I'm going on my 3rd term in Congress. I love guns, especially AR-15s, and I support President Trump. Mark, I suggest you get some HRT and hit the gym.
Yeah, I second that, MTG. Mark Cuban, you little sissy boy over there. Oh, man. Kellyanne Conway, also at Kellyanne Polls, posted a response, a special message for Mark Cuban, Kamala Mamala, Joe Biden, and the Demon Rats. Let's hear what Kellyanne Conway has to say.
Hey, it's Kellyanne Conway with a special message for Mark Cuban and all the other misogynists that support Kamala Harris and love to spew hateful, divisive, sexist rhetoric. Recognize this place? This is the Ellipse, where presently a strong, intelligent woman is speaking without a teleprompter. Recognize that place? That's the White House. Your handpicked candidate, Hillary Clinton, lived there as wife of a president, but not as the president. Donald J. Trump beat her, in part because he is unafraid to surround himself with strong, intelligent, capable men and women. Whether it's Joe Biden calling us garbage or Mark Cuban denying our strength and intelligence.
That's right, T.
I'm here to stand up and speak up for the tens of millions of strong, intelligent women who November 5th will vote for peace, prosperity, security, safety, fairness. Thank you, and God bless you.
Well said, Kellyanne Conway. Well said. And it doesn't stop there. We also have Rep. Anna Paulina Luna at Real Anna Paulina on X, posting a response as well. Say no to hate. Vote Trump. Mark Cuban, stop being a bully. Hashtag women for Trump. Let's check out her statement.
Mark Cuban just went on The View this morning and said that there are no strong or intelligent women that support President Trump, which is by definition misogyny. Not just to mention their disgusting comments. The fact is that Mark Cuban, this out-of-touch billionaire that's trying to bully women into supporting Kamala Harris, A, has no idea what real people are experiencing in this country. He's an elitist, again, out of touch. But B, he's also part of the same party that is trying to remove mothers. They're trying to call us birthing persons or chest feeders. They can't even define what a woman is, and yet the arrogance in trying to lecture strong and independent women that are outside the groupthink mentality into who to vote for, I don't think so. The fact is that this party, again, tries to bully people, but it's not going to happen. You can see that in the polling. We're going to win.
We better win, otherwise it's going to be big, big trouble. Civil war, baby. It's inevitable. I'm not calling for it. I'm just making an extrapolation and a prediction. It is inevitable. You cannot get away with this. Again, it's over. Gator just posted this in the chat. Speaking of strong, independent women, or speaking of not strong women, but this one in the meme is good, though. Trump said Liz Cheney needs to be shot. Be honest. He said she needs to be put in front of a firing squad. What did he actually say? He said Liz needs to fight in the pointless wars she supports. Thank you. Yeah, that's what he said. War Hawk Tua, as Liz Cheney will forever be known now. Ed, that's right, Ed. That's right. USA, baby. And it doesn't stop there. Trump's one of his campaign managers, Susie Wiles, who's got the sketchy big pharma connections, but it doesn't seem like it's going to matter as long as RFK Jr. gets in there. Posted this one at Susie57 on X. I'm told Mark Cuban needs help identifying the strong and intelligent women surrounding President Trump. Well, here we are. I've been proud to lead this campaign. Complimented by Linda McMahon, chair for the transition policy, and Lara Lee Trump, RNC co-chair. These are all strong, independent, intelligent women. We also have Harriet Hegman commenting on this at Hegman for Wyoming, WY on X, saying, I'm traveling across Wyoming, but had to pull over to respond to Mark Cuban's weak and unintelligent remarks about women who support Trump. How am I not following Harriet Hegman? Oh, probably because @_common censored got banned permanently on X. It's not perfect, but it's getting there, guys. So let's check out Harriet's response.
Hi, my name is Harriet Hegman, and I am Wyoming's lone congressional representative. I just heard that Mark Cuban said that there are no strong or intelligent women who support Donald Trump. What unadulterated hogwash. This coming from a party that can't even define what a woman is? I can assure you that the strong, independent, and intelligent women of Wyoming support President Trump because we support his policies. I think that Mark Cuban should pay more attention to basketball, perhaps stay out of politics, because he sure doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm Harriet Hegman, and I stand with Donald Trump.
Boom. And we stand with you, Harriet Hegman. So let's check out Trump's response. Gateway Pundit over here calling it vintage Trump activated. Indeed. Mark Cuban, a really dumb guy who thinks he's hot stuff, but he's absolutely nothing, is now out there saying that I don't surround myself with strong women. Actually, he is very wrong. I surround myself with the strongest of women, with the understanding that all women are great, whether strong or not strong. This guy is such a fool. He's constantly on television being critical, and only for the reason that I tuned him out completely while president because he called incessantly. I told him very pointedly, look, Mark, I've got a lot of things to do. I can't just be taking so many pointless phone calls from you. In any event, that affected him greatly because he's a very insecure guy and a major loser. Always has been and always will be. Nobody likes him, nobody respects him, and he's unattractive both inside and out. He should go back to talk about the person he was forced to support because I didn't want it. Lion Kamala Harris. Also, he's got no club head speed, Trump said on X. No club head speed, dissing his golf swing. Damn, that goes hard. Quote, I may, in fact, be surrounded by the strongest women in the world, including heads of countries who make Mark look like a baby. All strong women and women in general should be very angry about this weak man's statement, Trump said, dropping nuclear bombs on X, verbally speaking, and truth. Wow. Wow, that was a shellacking, as you could say. Damn. Vintage Trump, that's what we need, man. We need more vintage Trump. Bring back vintage Trump. That's the Trump that we elected in 2016. How about this? Shock video. Man at Allentown rally throws cell phone at Trump as he leaves the building, hits the floor, busts up. This is super sketchy. We just saw the, all the information about pagers and radios and stuff being explodified over in the Middle East. Same thing could happen with these cell phones with similar type batteries. And this individual tossed it gently down by Trump's feet as if it was supposed to explode. This is the craziest video. A man at President Trump's Allentown, Pennsylvania rally threw his phone at President Trump when he left the arena on Tuesday. Of course, this could have been very dangerous. The phone busted when it hit the floor. If it would have hit President Trump in the head, it could have caused a significant injury for real. Cell phones are double as bludgeons nowadays. We also saw how Israel planted exploding pagers in Lebanon and blew up a few hundred Hezbollah members. The video was posted by Zachary Clark from Pennsylvania. Take a look at this. Holy fuck, dude. If that thing had exploded, super sketchy. Gateway Pundit reached out to Zachary for comment. The video was later posted by V Darkness Falls on X, who said, throwing a cell phone at President Trump is uncalled for and just plain stupid, considering cell phones have been rigged around the world to explode to assassinate people. It's great to see Trump's protection detail recognizing that fact in an instant to kick the phone away at the risk of his own leg being blown off, but that guy should have been hauled out of the bleachers. No actual Trump supporter would just throw their phone at Trump to risk him being tackled and injured in the scuffle to get him to safety, which, by the way, also didn't happen, but should have. It's like this individual, they didn't throw it at Trump. He lobbed it down onto the ground at Trump's feet as if it were going to explode. So what the hell is going on here? For the record, this is not the first time this has happened. A man at a 2019 NRA convention tossed a phone at Trump at their convention. That man was quickly arrested. Landed way over there, not necessarily near him. But that dude was arrested. Update, Zachary Clark confirmed to the Gateway Pundit that he took the video. He says that he's not sure if the Secret Service arrested the guy who threw the phone. That dude needs to be arrested, investigated. That was super sketchy. Super, super sketchy. Who knows what the heck is going on there? Ed Hoskins, he could have released a virus. Man, that was like tossed out there as if it were an explosive, like a grenade being lobbed out. Thankfully, it did not explode. But what the hell is going on? What the hell was that all about? That dude needs to be investigated by the Secret Service. Bigly. In other news, CPAC files a lawsuit after Wisconsin man is pictured dumping a bag of ballots into a ballot drop box. Jim Hoft wrote this one. Conservative Political Action Committee, CPAC, announced this week that they are holding photographic evidence of illegal ballot harvesting at a drop box outside of the Milwaukee City Hall. An eyewitness took photos of a suspicious person dumping a significant amount of absentee ballots into the City Hall drop box before fleeing when he noticed he was being filmed. Not sketchy at all. Basically telegraphing that he's committing a crime. When he flees, you got to act casual if you're committing a crime, like you should be there, like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Matt Schlapp saying, as part of CPAC's efforts to ensure elections are free and fair, CPAC has filed a complaint with the Wisconsin Election Commission, WEC, and reported to local law enforcement allegations of potential efforts to commit fraud or corruption in the voting process by an unknown individual. CPAC received reports of illicit ballot harvesting at the Dropbox location outside Milwaukee City Hall. A witness reported an individual depositing a significant number of absentee ballots into the Dropbox before fleeing the scene. Ballot harvesting is illegal under Wisconsin law. Chairman Matt Schlapp is committed to protecting our elections and urges WEC and local law enforcement to investigate these allegations. Here's a copy of the witness statement via Washington Examiner. Quote, I have personal knowledge of the matters set forth herein, and if called as a witness, I could and would testify competently as to the truth of such matters. On October 25th, 2024, at approximately 7:55 p.m., I witnessed an individual who appeared to deposit a bag full of absentee ballots into a drop box. It is my understanding that ballot trafficking is a violation of Wisconsin state law, and that each elector must deliver their own absentee ballot unless the elector is disabled. These drop boxes need to just be gone, be eliminated. The only possible purpose is for fraud. If you can't just hand your ballot in and have it counted by a poll worker, then something suspicious is going on, in my opinion. Uh-oh, man, the battlements armed the parapets again. We're being raided. Lady Hamilton, Art, I saw you go live at 6:45. I hope you had or are still having a good show, Lady H. Big love from Connecticut. Make sure to subscribe to Lady Hamilton Art on Rumble. Awesome channel. Just an awesome person in general. Thanks, Lady H, for rating the show. Appreciate you and hope you are having an awesome Friday on this first day of November 2024. Continuing, I was sitting in my car with my son outside of the City Hall Dropbox location at 200 East Wells Street, Milwaukee, Wisconsin 53202. An individual approached the Dropbox carrying two bags. One of the bags was a drawstring backup. The other bag was a large green bag with a zipper at the top. The green bag appeared to be full. I would estimate that the green bag could hold between 50 and 500 absentee ballots. The individual walked up to the Dropbox and reached into the green bag at least 5 times to empty the contents of this bag into the Dropbox. While walking away from the Dropbox, I watched the individual fold up the now empty green bag and proceed to put it in the drawstring backup. When the individual realized I was watching and taking pictures, the individual sprinted away. I've attached 4 photos of the individual that I was able to capture. We will definitely be following this story closely. For the record, never forget, Wisconsin Rhino Robin Voss was intimately involved in introducing ballot drop boxes across the country. So that's something to watch out for. Oh, man. More election interference reported by Wall Street Apes over here at Wall Street Apes on X. Election interference alert caught on camera. Indiana Department of Transportation removing Donald Trump signs from roads, but not Kamala Harris signs. Quote, the only political signs that they've been picking up are the Trump ones, Indiana Department of Transportation. Look at that. Look. Let's take a look at this video.
Only political signs that they've been picking up are the Trump ones. Indiana Department of Transportation. Look at that.
These fucking people, man.
Look,
think we can trust the post office delivering mail-in ballots either? Of course,
Those are the only
government workers.
Political signs that we've seen them take. We've been behind them for a half hour.
Government workers rigging things in favor of their overlords. Absolutely infuriating. We also have other stuff here. So what we discovered about 15 of the 19 addresses tied to one voter ID in Detroit. We covered that a couple days ago with the screenshot of one voter ID and all these different addresses, something like 152,000 voters responsible for 268,000 ballots or something like that. Patty McMurray wrote this one. In September 2024, we reported that data experts Tim Vetter and Fanny Mantravati of Check My Vote identified 6,126 duplicate votes on the August primary voter rolls. Later, 6,017 of the duplicate votes curiously disappeared from the voter rolls after our reporting, while 109 duplicate votes remained in the October vote history. Quote, our Secretary of State has a record of scrubbing the voter rolls after the media and election integrity groups bring it to their attention. Here's that screenshot, one voter ID over here, and all these different addresses associated with that individual. We don't need to rehash all the details, but yesterday, election integrity data activist Tim Vetter and founder of Check My Vote, Fanny Mantravati, revealed a bombshell revelation to the Gateway Pundit that they discovered by tracking the daily absentee voter reports. According to the daily absentee voter reports obtained by FOIA from the Michigan Bureau of Elections on October 28th, 2024, Tim Vetter and Fanny Mantravati, who have peer-reviewed each other's work, claim 208,075 votes were cast in Michigan by 82,647 voters. Based on their IDs, this discovery by Vetter and Mantravati resulted in a shocking 125,428 excess ballots cast by the same voter ID as recorded by the Michigan Bureau of Elections. Soon after Lara Trump announced the, quote, glitch, Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson's ASO posted another one of her, quote, fact checks on, quote, election misinformation, without providing any evidence of why the glitch happened or how they proved it was only a glitch. Mrs. Benson or someone from the Michigan State Department simply wrote their version of a, quote, fact check that we're all supposed to believe. The appeal to authority, logical fallacy. Fact check. Voters can only vote once in every election. Doesn't stop them from voting more than once, though. A recent social media post has taken a data report that included formatting errors to incorrectly claim that individual voters were casting multiple ballots in this election. Sure. C-dubs, lead and brass are greater than gold and silver. Yeah. And if you have lead and brass, you can always go get more gold and silver, if you know what I'm saying. In a follow-up tweet, the Michigan State Department wrote, the error has been identified and corrected. Each of these voters only had one vote recorded for this election. Sure. Why does the Secretary of State's office say, quote, each of these voters had only one vote recorded for this election when the evidence we provide clearly states that we are addressing one voter ID used to cast 29 votes in this election, according to their data? What exactly was the, quote, error, unquote, that was, quote, identified, unquote, and how was it, quote, corrected, unquote? Here's the graph from Check My Vote that helps to provide a visual of their stunning discovery. Look at this. Multiple votes. Daily absentee voter report. Daily absentee voter reports obtained by Michigan BOE show multiple votes being cast by many individuals from various jurisdictions across county lines. The graph shows a steady increase in multiple votes leading up to October 28th, at which point it reached a high of 82,647 voters, casting a total of 208,075 votes, an excess of 125,428 votes. That's an average of 2.51 votes per person. However, this multiple voting history appears to have been scrubbed off for all but one voter, according to the 1029 report. Tim Vetter told us that the name attached to the voter ID could be an actual person who is unaware that his voter ID is being used to vote multiple times at different addresses, and that they could, unfortunately, be charged for duplicate voting without their knowledge. Wouldn't surprise me. Just like the Act Blue money laundering, allegedly, scheme where they use innocent people's information and have them falsely report them making thousands, tens of thousands even, of donations. Small, tiny little donations to Act Blue. Blatant money laundering, in my opinion. Vetter believes that most, if not all, of the names of the people who appear to have voted multiple times are unaware that votes are being cast using their voter ID. When a screenshot of one voter ID used 29 times to vote in the November 2024 election went viral yesterday, the RNC began to look into this serious situation. Within hours of their investigation, Lara Trump tweeted, "Our election integrity team received reports of thousands of duplicate ballots in Michigan. We immediately investigated and have confirmed that it was a glitch in the system. These duplicates were not and will not be counted." So they fixed the glitch, and they're not going to count the votes because you're busted. You thought we wouldn't notice, scumbags. We are on it and protecting the vote. RNC has never been better than with Lara Lee Trump at the helm. Here's the tweet. So good news that at least these votes won't be counted. But you best believe they're doing this and other criminal schemes that they're hoping we won't notice. You know, releasing all the stops. They're going to be doing this from every different angle with every different tactic they possibly can, because they cannot allow Trump to win, because they'll all be arrested. All these criminals are going down if we win. Gateway Pundit interviewed Tim Vetter and Fani Mantravati, that's a cool name, last night. According to them, this incident has not been resolved. In fact, far from a glitch, the election integrity analysts believe it's more like a pattern. Link to the interview over here if you guys want to watch the interview for all the details. Today, we decided to dig deeper into the single voter ID that cast 29 ballots, according to the daily absentee voter reports received via FOIA request by Fani Mantravati, which he uses to update the information on his checkmyvote.org website. The list below is a screenshot of the data showing multiple addresses used by one voter ID to cast 29 votes on the 25th in Detroit. So this is super, super sketchy. I'm not buying that it was just a glitch. The 1010 Harper Street is a rehab center called Operation Get Down in Detroit. The 1152 Holcomb Street address is a 4 to 5 story apartment building. No apartment number, however, is listed at the address, which makes it an invalid registration address. The 12260 Camden Street is a Detroit faith clinic. Their Facebook page shows they work with youths, and they appear to have a church at this location as well. 13220 Woodward Avenue is an Oasis emergency shelter for men and is part of the Detroit Rescue Mission. None of this makes any sense. This was the author's personal favorite, though. 1401 West 4th Street. It's a Detroit USPS location. I'm sure there's a citizen living at the mail station, living at the mail location. The post office, that's the words I was looking for there. You can tell how often I use snail mail. Yeah, Tri-State or Utes. We got 2 Utes. I was referencing My Cousin Vinny, I think the movie with, instead of Utes, with, what's his face over there? You know, the guy from, Joe Pesci. So, super sketchy, super insane stuff. They are trying their best to steal this and to convince us that it's just a glitch. It's interesting how all the glitches always seem to go in favor of the demon rats, though. Next, over at Wall Street Apes on X. Only Kamala Mamala political gear allowed at this polling station. Americans were kicked out of voting because they were wearing a Donald Trump hat and shirt. Both, however, confirm that people are being allowed to wear Kamala Harris shirts with no problems whatsoever. Let's take a look at this. It's not a one-sided scam of an operation at all.
All right, so we just got kicked out because we were wearing a Trump hat and he was wearing a Trump shirt. We couldn't vote. We have to remove it and then go vote. Come on now, what is this?
There were people wearing Harris shirts.
Yeah, people wearing Harris shirt, no problem. Trump is a big problem. All right, so we just...
Sorry, Wendy and everybody. I thought you guys would get the Utes joke. 2 Utes. Youths. I will fix the pronunciation there. Oh, so this is crazy. T. McGroin, glitches deserve far more than stitches. That's right, they deserve ditches. Oh, man. After due process, FBI is SO fuck you. How about this one? Breaking. Wisconsin Stop Bogus Ballots team challenges over 150,000 addresses, including 4,900 addresses in Milwaukee. This is a guest post by Jay Valentine at Stop Bogus Ballots over on Gateway Pundit, who is the best for election stuff. I started checking Gateway Pundit every morning. First thing I do when I wake up, beginning in the 2020 election season, when they were just on point, covering all the crazy corruption and efforts to steal the election. In Milwaukee, a robust street fighting group of activists using data our StopBogusBallots.com team provided challenged 4,900 addresses in the city of Milwaukee today. Milwaukee allows any citizen to challenge any registration on the Wednesday before an election. These 4,900 challenges are now added to the 55,000 challenged in June and 94,000 challenged in another recent lawsuit, mostly through the work of Peter. I'm not even going to say that name, so you can't cut it and splice it and pretend I'm saying the N-word. I'll say it. Peter Berniger. That's how I'll say it. Thus, in a state where the 2024 margin of victory is likely around 25,000 ballots, the team identified over 150,000 addresses able to receive a mail-in ballot, falling into one of the 17 ineligible categories. Such categories include, quote, moved to another state or undeliverable addresses. Those categories are listed on the scoreboard at StopBogusBallots.com. Stop Bogus Ballots team recognized for over 2 years that the 2024 election would be determined in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. The Commonwealth. Recent analyses from multiple sources agree there is no reasonable way for Trump to win without Pennsylvania. Only if an outlier comes in, one not prepped by the lefties with NGO ballot mills. Maybe Virginia or New Hampshire? Can Trump win if Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin are lost? Maybe. I'm hoping for some unexpected red victories in blue states, quote unquote. The Trump campaign has been tossing away money, $22 million to its campaign manager on useless fraud operations like having 200,000 poll watchers in an election where 40% of the vote comes via mail and 95% of the fraud is from ineligible addresses. And who knows? Doesn't know how many people are watching votes if they just hit a button and rig the machine afterwards. In Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, the StopBogusBallots.com team identified about 500,000 addresses set to receive a mail-in ballot, which are undeliverable. That means that they just have the post office workers collect them and fill them out illegally, in my opinion, allegedly. In Pennsylvania, the number is over 1.4 million undeliverable ballots. As U.S. postal carriers have told the team, those undeliverable ballots are often allegedly given to leftist NGOs and voted for someone other than Trump. They're collecting the mail-in ballots that they know can't be delivered, and they're using them to rig elections, allegedly. The Trump campaign seems to believe they are in a political campaign where civics reigns. Get out the vote campaigns and ballot harvesting, high-propensity voters, and voting early matter. Well, they do. They're not the critical ingredient. They are the nice-to-haves. Fortunately, there are street-fighting Americans in the fight to expose these addresses and flag any ballot originating from them. Having dealt with the RNC in 2022, we came to 2024 with no illusions that they could do anything competently, particularly understanding the battlefield. Our teams have been working in these states, particularly Wisconsin, for 4 years since Sheriff Clark first brought us to the party. And now we are doing what the RNC should have been doing, challenging legal ballots sent to legal people at legal addresses, which are undeliverable. So this is good. This is a really smart, tactical effort by StopBogusBallots.com. The numbers are staggering, as we show on our website, stopbogusballots.com. Let's check it out. Let's hop over and see. I don't actually know where to look, so here's the website if you guys want to. Oh, here we go. In each state, we're launching legal challenges so these votes cannot be counted. Pennsylvania, total 1.4 million undeliverable addresses. Wisconsin, total 748,000 undeliverable addresses. North Carolina, 432,299 undeliverable addresses. Nevada, 484,363 undeliverable addresses, and Michigan, a total of 1.759 million undeliverable addresses. Those are all, if my memory serves me, you could say slightly larger than the margin of victory for Biden in those states in 2020. This is an obvious, blatant rigging campaign. StopBogusBallots.com, on point of it. This may be one of the deciding factors in this election. This is absolutely huge and super smart tactic here to invalidate these votes that were supposed to be delivered to undeliverable addresses. None of these should count. They're absolutely right. How about this? Migrants say they're not coming if Trump is president. Guest post by Bob Unruh from WND.com over here at Gateway Pundit. It'll be much tougher, quote unquote, if Republican candidate is in office. Illegal aliens by the millions, often in caravans of thousands that have been delivering women and children, men and boys, to the U.S. border ever since Crooked Joe and Creepy Kamala occupied the White House, have created massive problems for America. The demon rats had, on their first day in office, destroyed multiple programs that President Trump had instituted with some degree of success to secure the border and control those moving into the United States. The demon rats agenda has proven catastrophic, with multiple towns and cities now carrying a massive burden of social benefits, consuming newcomers, schools overwhelmed with students who don't speak English, and more. We have another story in the pipeline about another town in Ohio that just had basically the same number of citizens that already lived in the town, a small town like 3,500 citizens. They dropped 3,000 Mauritanian migrants into the town, ruining everything, screwing up the supply and demand, making the town a shithole. So this is crazy. These caravans are continuing with campaigns underway right now to deliver thousands more people who need American taxpayer help to the border on or shortly after Election Day next week. But a trend is developing that those individuals won't make the journey to America based on the sole factor of whether Trump is in office. The Telegraph visited the current caravans and reported the migrants themselves are confirming the U.S. may have less of a crisis if Trump is in the White House. Romay Silva, 38, from Guatemala, who was deported in 2018 for a drunken driving offense, said, quote, If Donald Trump wins, I think I am never going to go back. You should be shot on sight, in my opinion, if you approach the border. Allegedly in Minecraft, of course. I am trying to get back before the inauguration. I left Guatemala 2 weeks ago. I could see the election was coming. He said, quote, I worry about Donald Trump because the law is going to change a lot, and it is going to be more hard to go back to the United States. Actually, if U.S. immigration laws that exist would just be enforced, the migrants would be facing much higher hurdles than they have under the Biden-Harris administration. We already have the laws, and Kamala's out there, oh, Trump voted against the border bill. Oh, you mean the border bill that was designed to backdoor billions of dollars for Ukraine? We already have the laws to prevent these people from coming in. Get real. They think we're stupid. We're not stupid. It's over. We're done. War for Peanut. War for Peanut. Another woman, unidentified, said in the Telegraph report, quote, we were waiting for the asylum appointment, but then with the election, all these applications will be closed and we're running out of time. The applications are being paused or canceled, but the border will be open. If Donald Trump gets in office again, it will be much tougher. Yeah, and if you enter, we will deport you back to where you came from. If you're lucky, we won't deport you into the center of the sun. The report said one caravan of some 2,000 people who would be illegal aliens in the U.S. is en route now, about 1,000 miles from the border. So hopefully these people will turn away when we win on Tuesday. This situation is out of control. Gator posted this in the chat. When people keep mentioning Thanksgiving as the next holiday, but you know that the Marine Corps birthday is actually next. Yeah. Happy birthday to the Marines. Chesty puller, wherever you are. Happy birthday to the Marines, you devil dogs. Let's see what we got next on the list over here. Wall Street Apes again at Wall Street Apes on X. Posting over here. Happening again, Levittown, Pennsylvania. Voters are being told to just fill out their registrations and ballots and hand it to the election workers who will put them in the machine later. Yeah, we can trust them. They won't do any adjudicating or anything like that. Or just toss them in the trash if they're for Trump. Pennsylvania doing everything possible to interfere in this election. Hand it to me. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll count your ballot. Sure, let's take a look at this video evidence documenting these crimes.
The answer is no. So that I'll be happy. Give me your receipt. Take your name on it. Yeah, take a picture. You can take a picture. My name is Michael Bannon. Let's not do that. So my name is Michael Bannon. You can fill this out. We'll do the best we can. I have no problem. I've tried my best. You can fill this out.
On the top of your ballot, put if you want it mailed to your house or if you want to pick it up Thursday. You can, if you elect Thursday, you can come here Thursday and pick up your ballot.
No,
they will
I'm
process
a
your
volunteer,
application.
but I will be happy to do so. Give it me. I'll do it.
And then you'll pick up your
Thank
ballot.
you. That he handed it in to me. Yes, I'll do that.
Would it be a line like that? No.
The answer
Insane. Yeah, just hand it to me. I'll take care of it. I'll make sure your vote's counted, you dirty maggot. I don't trust these people. This is insane. So they're doing everything they can to rig this election on every possible vector. Now in Kentucky, touchscreen repeatedly won't allow voter to select Trump. Election officials deny the malfunction. Then 4 hours later admit the issue with the ballot marking device. Patty McMurray, again, did this one. A voter in Kentucky sent out a warning on social media this afternoon after a touchscreen voting machine would not let him select Donald J. Trump and his vice presidential candidate, J.D. Vance. In a video he recorded and posted on social media, the unidentified male can be seen repeatedly pressing the oval for President Trump and J.D. Vance. At one point, the Kamala Harris and Tim Walz choice lights up, indicating he chose them on the touchscreen when it's clear he's only pushing the Trump-Vance ticket. Nick Sortor shared the video on his popular X account along with a very good question. New! Some voting machines in Kentucky are not allowing voters to select President Trump. Instead, when they tap Trump, Kamala Harris ends up being selected like that episode of The Simpsons. Simpsons always predicts the real-life stuff. Add it to the list of reasons to switch to paper ballots. Why does this always seem to happen in one direction and not the other? Let's hop over to X and check out the video. Typical. So, I don't know. Why does anybody trust these things, man? It's insane. You got to be so stupid to trust a digital machine to do this. They can obviously blatantly be rigged 1,000 different ways. Yeah, that's right. C-dubs, you need a stylus. Did you bring a stylus with you? I skipped this story by accident earlier, but it's also mega, massive, important. He just has a callus that C-dubs that's preventing him from hitting it. George at B Hizzy tweets on X posted this one regarding the Colorado Jenna Griswold leaking of 600 BIOS passwords for voting machines in 63 of the 64 Colorado counties. Breaking! The Colorado Libertarian Party just sued to force the entire state to decommission all voting machines and move to a total hand count of the ballots after Jenna Griswold leaked the passwords. They point out that that machines were decommissioned in the past for the exact same nature of leaks. Quote, on August 12, 2021, the Secretary issued Election Order 2021-02, which ordered the decommissioning of 41 voting system components in Mesa County affected by the exposure of the BIOS passwords. forcing the purchase of new equipment at the county's expense. How stupid can you possibly be? Within 4 years of one another, accidentally leaking the BIOS passwords for the voting machines? This is too stupid to be stupid, to quote Salty Cracker. This is clearly intentional. It's insane. The lawsuit is conclusive, and any judge who isn't compromised will side with them. Even if a judge doesn't, at least there's now legal scrutiny on the corrupt secretary instead of just powerless letters. Shout out to the Libertarian Party of Colorado for being so quick on their feet. Agreed. Lawsuits, lawsuits, lawsuits. Sue them all.
In 2021, when Mesa County's voting system passwords leaked, your office said, quote, the public disclosure of the BIOS passwords for one or more components of Mesa County's voting system alone constitutes a serious breach of voting system security protocols. By that standard, did your office commit a serious breach of voting system security protocols?
No. There's several things. First off, the situation in Mesa County is very distinct to the situation that we are facing today. Because of that, Tina Peters was just convicted of 9 years of incarceration. We were actively investigating the password disclosure as part of a bigger security breach in Mesa County.
Pardon me. What your office said was that the public disclosure of the BIOS passwords alone constituted a serious breach of voting system security. So now that your office has leaked passwords, does that also constitute a serious breach of voting system security protocols?
Well, to push back on you, Kyle, that sentence is in the press release, but there is a much bigger press release. And part of that investigation in Mesa County was 2 sets of passwords, unauthorized access, stolen passwords, and it was in a different time. Since 2021 and what happened in Mesa County, our security has improved, including...
Oh yeah, that's why you released the BIOS passwords again, because your security has improved so much. Where's the alert? We need an alert for this lady, Jenna Griswold over here. Where is the alert?
Uh-oh, retard alert! Retard alert, class!
Yeah, retard alert. The security has not improved. You released 600 BIOS passwords, you lying slunt.
The 24/7 hour cameras, including the badge and access. The law has been significantly strengthened since then. We have multiple layers in place to ensure situations like Mesa County don't occur, and that is not what is occurring here.
Again, the word choice that it was the passwords alone that constituted the serious breach was, again, the words used by your office.
That's funny. I just said slunt and combining slut and cunt, and Gator posted in the chat, skunt, because sometimes skank and cunt just isn't enough. That's right. Create a contraction, baby. Gator, thanks for posting that. Accurate. How about this? From Real Alex Jones earlier today, at Real Alex Jones, Candace Owens laid out incredibly shocking information on today's show, and she brought the receipts. I think this is from yesterday, actually. Kamala's strange backstory all makes sense now. Just like Obama, she's a CIA baby. To fully capture the U.S. government, the CIA doesn't just groom politicians, they raise them. That's right, Obama's mama, Sally Ann Dunham, known CIA operative. Let's check out a couple minutes of this interview with Candace.
Kamala is a candidate that the elites want because she is a vessel. And if you've watched any part of my series, I had a journalist on who was the editor of the Japan Times, who knew her and ran circles in San Francisco, same as Judge Joe Brown. And they spoke about her track record, how she was working on behalf of the cartels. And he also intimated to me that her mother was working on behalf of the MK Ultra program for the CIA. So you have this woman who has she's just like a blank vessel. She can be whatever you tell her to be at any day that you tell her to be.
And by the way, this sounds shocking to people that aren't well informed about history. Theodore Kaczynski, LA Times, New York Times, was in the MK Ultra program. It's been proven that Charlie Manson was in it. It just goes on, that, and that was just one area that the Frank Church Committee got into in the late 70s. That was just a pinhole into a larger universe. And that's what I believe about Kamala from the picture we see, like Tim Walz, clear communist Chinese agent. It's all come out. You know, Confucius Society, all of it. You know, sex operative controller, all of it. You look at Kamala, exactly. MK Ultra, sex operative cutout. The way she sometimes can be smart, usually really dumb, different personalities. I've thought this privately. Since you said it, I'm going to go ahead and say it. She has the perfect signature of someone that's been through trauma-based mind control.
That's exactly what the journalist said. And he knew her parents. I mean, he knew her mother.
Okay, well, I've been following you, but I didn't know this. Everybody's been calling me saying, you got to get Candace on. I'm going to shut up then. Start over. This is huge.
Yeah, so this is a journalist. You can watch this on my YouTube page, guys. You can head over to the live tab. And we had on Yoichi Shimatsu. He's a Japan editor, and he had written this piece about how her mother was in the MK Ultra program. He personally hates Kamala because a person that helped her get through law school, who was his protege, wound up dead in extremely, extremely suspect circumstances. That man's name was Jeff Adachi. He made an enemy of the San Francisco mafia, and he wound up dead with some very suspicious things happening at the medical examiner's office. It was a huge scandal. And so he basically wrote this piece out of exasperation and anger. And he said, people do not realize what she is. Her mother worked at a hospital in, I want to say Montreal, in Montreal, where they were running the MK Ultra program. And he was speaking extensively about how she was brought over because she was very good with apes. And at this time is when you had like Jane Goodall, and you had,
as usual,
really interested in experimenting on apes in order to determine what they could do to humans psychologically. And so she got drafted into the MK Ultra program. Now, I know that the depictions that she tells you about her childhood are not real because, Alex, I don't know if you know this, but while I've been doing this series, Kamala's family members reached out, the ones that are not communists, to verify that she's been lying about her genealogy and said her mother was extremely strict on her. You know, those girls were run like a military, probably because it was a military program. It was a CIA program. And so it is extremely alarming that this guy comes out, he tells you he's from the same circles as Kamala Harris. No one has been able to debunk anything that he has said. And it does look like when you see where her mother worked, and you are familiar with the MK Ultra program, which, like you said, you can look this up on Wikipedia. This is not a conspiracy. That Kamala may have been drafted into that program. It's quite terrifying.
And unlike most headquarters being Virginia or DC or Maryland for other federal programs, San Francisco is the recognized world headquarters of MK Ultra and its privatization operations. Correct. That came out in the Senate hearings in the 70s.
That's correct. And that there's a book that I've been recommending everybody read called Chaos, which talks about that's why Charles Manson was all throughout California. He was a Fed. He got turned in prison, taught how to hypnotize people. And the purpose behind that, again, was war. Just to be clear, they lied about what happened that night with the Manson murders. He wasn't there. He was a Fed. The women were people that were working on behalf of the Feds. And they wanted America to think that this mass murder had happened and it was executed by a hippie commune, when in fact it wasn't. The CIA was verifiably there that night, thanks to the remarkable journalistic work of Tom O'Neill in the book Chaos. They were there that night because America, everyone was on LSD, thanks to the CIA, but they had this effect where nobody wanted to go to war. It was like peace, love, rock and roll. And so when they said, no, we want to go to war, we want to go to war right now. We want to go to Vietnam. We're going to do this in Cambodia. They wanted everyone to snap out of this LSD reverie. And what better way to do it than with a psychologically traumatizing event? Speaking about how, they carved a baby out of this actress that everybody loves and, wrote her blood on the wall. People instantly, they say this is the day the music died. The hippie generation ended the day of the Charles Manson murders, and the reporters all started reporting on it and how gory it was, and people were terrified. And suddenly the peace, love generation ended. So
let's pause real quick to terminate the YouTube broadcast. I think we've gone far enough over on CommieTube. If you're watching over on YouTube, click the link. Come and join us on Alt Tech, where the water is warm and we can speak freely. If you can't make it, we'll be back Monday, maybe over the weekend too. If we need to cover stuff in preparation for the election, I might have plans tomorrow and Sunday, but broadcasting is really, really important right now to keep people amped up and to keep spreading the truth and exposing the lies and encouraging people to participate in the election. Anyway, we're going to terminate the YouTube broadcast, so come join us over on Rumble. If you can't make it, we'll catch you on the flip side. But until then, let's get ready to rumble!